Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spark of Vintage. Today, we are celebrating the March 2025 Curated Maker's Box from Sonnet'S Garden Blooms. Each monthly box is a perfectly curated collection of paint samples as well as decoupage and rice papers. We always get items from Roycycled Decoupage Paper, the Painted Photographer's Rice Paper, paint samples from DIY, Infusion Mineral Paint, as well as Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. For this first project, I pulled out this Oneida silver tray that I had in my stash. And when I applied the silver polish, I realized it was a piece of beautiful artwork into itself. I polished the piece with a toothbrush I had in my stash, and it took quite a bit of elbow grease to get it to the shiny piece that I wanted it to be. Once I got it to the brilliance that I was hoping for, I applied 2 coats of DIY's White Swan to create a foundational background for the rice paper that I would be applying in just a moment. DIY Paint's Water Lily was the perfect match for this rice paper. I wanted to paint the edges of the tray and then wipe it back or kind of wet distress it back to its original shiny silver. So I wanted a little splash of that blue, but also a big pop of that shiny silver. DIY's chalk paint is easily reconstitutable, meaning until you seal it, it is easy to wipe it away with just a simple damp cloth. And that was the perfect technique that I needed for this frame. This Secrets of the Garden rice paper gave me a lot of inspiration. I used these pieces of wood from my stash and pulled out some of Connie's past rice papers to create a secret garden of my own. I used our rice paper from this maker's box as well as 3 other bouquets of flowers that Connie had created through the Painted Photographer. I wanted these pieces to be double-sided so that you could mix and match the beautiful flowers in the garden to your liking. I simply cut the rice papers to the shape of the little houses and applied them with Distress Collage Medium. I painted the sides of the houses with our colors of the month. I had this bamboo tissue box in my stash for a couple of years now, just waiting for the right project. Roycycled's Decoupage Paper Old English Countryside was spectacular, but it was a relatively large piece of decoupage paper. So I cut it in half and applied it to the sides of the bamboo tissue holder. I used White Swan as my foundation before I applied the decoupage paper. And I loved the opportunity to be able to have one continuous pattern all the way around the box. I took the spare pieces of decoupage paper and made a little starburst on the top. I recently found these two tins at the Goodwill bins and decided they would make a really cute spring addition. They don't really store anything, but they're a great decorative piece. I applied a single coat of White Swan from DIY and attached spring tartan from Roycycled Decoupage Paper. I painted the lids of the tin with Acacia pear and buttermilk from Fusion Mineral Paint. One of the things I particularly love about the Maker's Box is all the colors perfectly coordinate. And when I saw that buttermilk color, it reminded me of the roses from IOD's Rosa Botanica transfers. So I pulled a couple of those out and knew they would be a beautiful complement. And as you'll see in a moment, I did a little aging or distressing of the tins with Tim Holtz's Distress ink in walnut stain. I painted the rolling pin with DIY's Cake Batter, one of our colors of the month. I used Rosa's Botanica from IOD transfers, same ones that I used on the tin cans to create a complementary pairing with the rolling pin. I thought in any kitchen vignette it would look really sweet to have those matching tins and that rolling pin together in that same color scheme. And I sealed the rolling pin with a matte finish varnish. You can subscribe to your own Maker's Box at sonnetsgardenblooms.com. Thank you so much for joining me for this March 2025 Maker's Box release. Please like, subscribe, share, and come on back and see us next time for our next DIY makes. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.